minasan! So today I'm here with Julie Nolke from Feeling Peckish, and you'll know her because I collaborated with her 2 times already. We did an Easter collaboration as well as an après-ski collaboration in November, or December actually.
It was a long time ago.
It was, and it was so much fun, so that's why she is back today. And so today we are going to be making this Pomeranian cake. And a few months ago I made a Persian cat cake with the same technique covered in cotton candy, and it actually looked fluffy. So a lot of you guys were asking me to do a Yorkie cake, but I actually ended up doing a Pomeranian cake just because cotton candy didn't get as dark as I wanted it to be. So we're making a Pomeranian instead, but I hope you like it. And so the base of the cake is going to be Julie's marble chocolate bar cake.
Marble chocolate bar cake. It's a pound cake recipe, super easy, awesome for carving. So it makes for a really good dog.
Exactly, and there's chocolate bars in the cake. So the cake isn't only cute, but it is so good and so indulgent. And honestly, anybody you give this to is going to love you so much because it tastes amazing and it looks like a dog. So let's get started. So what we're going to do first is make the fluff of the Pomeranian. And to kind of get like the different colors of cotton candy, I am going to be using my tea and coffee lollipops that I made a few months ago. So if you'd like to find out how to make those, which are just right here, I'll have a link in the description box and at the end of the video for you. So what you want to do is get these candies and place them in a blender and pulse them until they're a very, very fine powder. You don't want to have any extra lumps or anything remaining, and it'll end up looking like this. So it kind of looks like sand. It's not wet or anything like that, but it just kind of looks like colored powder. And this is the coffee one, and it smells like coffee. So to get the dark gray...
Wait, that's just coffee in there? You haven't used any tea ones?
No, these are... So this is the coffee, and this is the chai tea, and we're going to be using mostly this.
Ooh, I want to eat that. Does it taste like chai?
I don't know.
Can I have a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. I think it tastes mostly like sugar, but it's...
No, it tastes like chai.
Really? Oh, that's
big
so
time.
cool! Yay!
That is so good.
And this is the green tea one, actually. So
whoa, it's white.
Like,
Why did I think it would be green?
It just lightened up.
Green tea isn't green.
It looked like this, and then it lightens in color a lot. So I was worried that the coffee one would lighten way too much, and there wouldn't be much distinction between the coffee and the chai. So I added some black food coloring, and it looks like this when it's in powder form, but it actually turns out black when you turn it into cotton candy. So what we're going to do first is, this is the cotton candy maker that I'm using. I bought it at the grocery store. So if you'd like to buy a similar one, I'll have an Amazon link in the description box below for you. So to use this one anyway, we have to turn it on and allow it to preheat for 5 minutes. So we are just going to do that. Okay, so now that it is preheated, we're going to turn it off actually so that the middle part stops spinning. And then we're going to get a tablespoon of the sugar mixture, and we're going to pour that into the center. And then we're going to switch it back on. And then you just want to stick it in and start twirling it. And you'll see that it starts to kind of build up onto the stick, and you can move it around.
Wow, look at what I'm making. Whoa! This is I'm sweating. This is so nerve-wracking. And you're done.
And you're done. So, what we're gonna do is, so we have 2 pound cakes here, and one we're gonna use for the body, and then the second one we're gonna use for the head and the tail and the feet. We're gonna cut it into kind of an oval shape. So just cut it into like a basic shape first, and then you can round out the edges afterwards. So once you've made your oval, it should kind of look like this. So it's basically just like an oval, or like what the body of a sitting dog would look like. So now that you've made the head, which is using half of the other loaf, and you just want to cut that into kind of like a circle like this, and then you just want to stick it on top. And it's okay if it doesn't sit as nicely as ours does, because you're going to be attaching with toothpicks later on. And then with one half, we're going to make the tail. And place this on the back. So Pomeranians' tails come up on their back, and they actually hold it up that way. And then with the remaining half of the tail, you can make its ears. And so the queue should just be big enough to, when held up to the face, it looks like a snout, and we'll attach that later, so just place that down there. And then lastly, we're going to make the legs. Just cut 4 little cubes out of the bread. So now that you have the little cube, you just want to arrange them next to the dog and just kind of get an idea of what size you'd like the feet to be. And they don't need to be too big, just enough to kind of create a foot shape when it's covered in cotton candy. So you want to transfer this now to the serving dish or the serving plate that you'll be using to serve the dog, because once we start covering it in buttercream and cotton candy, you're not going to really want to remove it from its spot.
That's a good point.
So let's do that. Okay, so now what you want to do is attach the ears, tails, head, and everything together with toothpicks so that when you're having the buttercream on top and when you're serving it, it's not just going to all fall apart.
Is that okay? Is that on the right place?
Yeah, I think so. So now we are going to coat it in a thin layer of buttercream called the crumb coat. So the goal here is just to cover it in a thin layer. Doesn't matter if the crumbs get caught up in the buttercream, we're just using it as a nice kind of even layer to fully coat the dog. And if you like this buttercream recipe, it's the same recipe that I used in my cat and kitten mocha chip cake video. So if you like the recipe for that, I'll have that linked in the description box below. Okay, so now what we're gonna do once we fully crumb coated the dog is we're gonna like spread on another layer of buttercream, and this will be the thicker layer. So just kind of create a blanket of buttercream over the dog so you can still see the features, but you can't see any cake underneath. So now we've coated the cake in the thicker layer of buttercream. Now is the time to attach the fur. So you can use any other color fur that you like. So based on the colors that we have, we can make a kind of cream sable colored Pomeranian. And I know this because I'm obsessed, but basically it's like a cream colored Pomeranian with little flecks of gray in it. But if you don't want that, if you just want a traditional looking kind of like blonde Pomeranian, I recommend just using the chai.
I didn't know we were getting this in depth with our Pomeranian breeds.
So all you need to do is just grab like a little tuft of cotton candy and press it on. And
So cute.
if you're having trouble sticking it, you can always get toothpick or tweezers and kind of just like press it in, or even chopsticks, just press it into the buttercream so that
smaller
it sticks.
than this.
For the facial features like the eyes and the nose, Pomeranians typically have like dark eyes and a dark nose, so you don't really have to like melt chocolate, dye it, and shape it into different shapes. A variety of shapes of chocolate chips are completely fine, and we're just going to see what works and give our Pomeranian some eyes and a nose. So thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely check the link at the end of the video and down below if you'd like to see how to make this marble chocolate bar cake, because it's amazing.
My channel.
Yes, and make sure you subscribe to Julie because her videos are so good and they're so funny, and yes, you need to go over there and check her out. So I'll leave a link to subscribe to her in the description box as well. And definitely let me know what you think. If you have any other requests for animals, let me know because I will try my hardest to make them for you. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week. Bye!
Bye. That's how much I care about you.
Thank you.
That I did not eat these cakes.
The Pomeranian will thank you.
That's weird.
Okay, so if you're weird and perverted,
I don't think that's a good way to start a sentence.
you can stick a little candy heart.
Oh, wait, hold on. Can I see?